Hello and welcome to today's prenatal. We will come to sit. Okay, coming to sit in a comfortable seated position. So as we grow, we've got feedback. It's gone. Okay. As we grow in our pregnancy, or as baby grows, we need to accommodate for height. So we do that every week. We assess every week. How far along am I in my pregnancy? How much has the baby's grown? Do I need to sit a little higher, or am I in a good position? So no week is the same, and we start again afresh each time. All right, let's come to close the eyes. You're going to come take your hands onto your belly. Allow the tip of the tongue to rest behind the two front teeth. And we're going to draw the inner gaze inwards and upwards to the ground. And as you allow the hands to rest onto the belly, you begin to feel the warmth of the hands and the body. And you come to find that stillness. There we go. The hands are an extension of the heart energy. That is why hugs are so delicious. So as we come to place the hands onto the belly, it is another contact with babes. It is another way for our love to radiate outwards from the belly, inwards to babes. And then our shoulders softly descend away from the ears as the collarbone broadens. There's a nice gentle lift up through the chest and heart and up through the crown of the head. And we come to stillness. We come to be steady and right here. Observing the steady, even inhale. And then even slow, steady, cleansing exhale. And as the shoulders softly continue to draw away from the ears and the collarbone broadens, I invite you to shift your weight ever so slightly back. It may be more energetic than it is physical. But you may notice a shift in your energy within as you shift the weight ever so slightly back. Full cleansing breaths in
full, steady, cleansing breaths out.
And as we sit and we
Draw our senses inwards.
we're
Reclaiming our energy.
we're drawing it back. And that even
Cleansing inhale.
and your smooth,
Steady, cleansing exhale.
has that soothing effect
Effect
on the mind.
mind and the body.
One more cleansing
In breath in.
One more steady
Steady, cleansing breath out.
And I invite you to allow
Allow the corners of the eyes to gently smile.
and witness.
Does it give an energetic shift? Does it create an energetic shift in your body?
Just observing. There's no right or
Or
wrong.
wrong? It's just observe.
And then coming to take
Take
your
your hands together at your heart.
and coming to bow
Bow your chin down to the heart.
inviting your
Innocent
magnificent
mind to merge with the wisdom of your body and your soul.
and that of your baby. Keep the head bowed.
Extend the arms out to the sides. And then bring the arms forwards. Bring your right on top of left. Cross the arms, take the hands as far back as you can.
And you can rest
Press the head into the arms.
and gently
Rock from side to side.
You may
Innately rock back and forth.
You may not feel inclined to rock
at all. Just
Find that
honoring of where you are.
and just take
In
in
that embrace.
and you can say out loud
loud.
or in your mind's eye,
I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
two very powerful statements that we don't
Really say enough to ourselves or even to our loved ones and our family.
So by starting with ourselves is
a wonderful place to start.
All right,
Release the arms.
and
Especially in the postpartum period and just in parenthood in general.
our partners
Aren't always available mentally, physically, or emotionally to give us the support we wish to have.
So holding
Ourselves and knowing that we can give it to ourselves is important.
So once again, taking now the left hand
on top of right.
and we hold. This time
We're holding the embrace of the loved ones.
past,
Present or future, it may be the babe who is about to enter into the world.
So, and we're here once again.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then we come to release. All right. Roll your shoulders. And we're going to change the
Interlock of the legs because we've been sitting in this way for a few moments.
And we're going to
Come take the palms of the hands together.
We're going to let the right
Point
point
finger cross on top of the left.
turn the hands
Inside
inside
out, release the shoulders away from the ears.
and we're going to gently turn the head side to side. Just noticing
The sensation in the neck and shoulders.
We're
We're
going
going
to
to descend the shoulders away from the ears.
and then we're going to
Raise
raise
the arms up.
Now,
Knit the ribs together.
allow for that connection with the
Front and back body. So that as you raise the arms up, the rest of the torso is not disturbed.
you can keep the elbows royally
Really
bent.
bent.
Just breathe. You may find
That it's available to you to straighten the arms to whatever degree. You may find you can fully straighten the arms, but see how I still have my shoulders drawing down.
I still have
Space in my neck and shoulders.
So
That is the most important action here.
maintaining space.
Space.
It's not about
straightening the arms. It's about maintaining space and integrity in the body.
So release the interlock,
Extend the arms up, and then as you exhale, you're coming forwards.
Now, if you are further along
In your pregnancy,
you may
you
just
just
want
want to place the hands alongside because there might be room for you to move further forward.
to allow the fingertips
To
to
rest to the earth, allow the collarbone to be broad and the shoulder blades descend.
and even a small
Hinging action at the hips, you'll feel that nice opening, especially in pregnancy.
stay there. I think I need to just make a little tweak here. Cleansing breaths in and out. That's it. Oops, sorry. You've got a big face in your face. I apologize. All right, that's better. All right, so from this nice hinging forward, this nice opening in the hips, now we're going to gently hinge back up. Good. We're going to change the interlock of the legs once again and actively engage the outer edges of the feet into the earth. Palms of the hands are together once again, and then we're going to take left pointer finger on top of right. We're going to turn the hands inside out as we turn the head gently from side to side. Observing the quality in the neck and shoulders. Good. Easing back to center, and then we'll raise the arms up overhead once again. Shoulders are releasing down, heart is rising. And you still have a slight knitting together sensation of the ribs to contain. One more even breath in, and one more even, steady, cleansing breath out. And then you'll extend the arms up once again as we exhale and come forwards. But depending on how far along you are in your pregnancy, depends if you rest fingertips to the earth, out in front, to the side. You decide where you're resting. But be mindful that there's length and extension in the spine. It's not about how far forwards and rounding the upper torso. It's more about elongating and lengthening through the spine, hinging at the hips, and allowing for that nice opening and awakening in the hips and pelvis. One more cleansing breath in and out. And then we inhale and we gently ease back up. All right, let's come onto our hands and knees. So as you come onto the hands and knees, spread the fingertips and thumb pads wide. Your middle finger is in line with the center of your wrist. And your shoulders are stacked above your wrists and your hips are stacked above your knees. Now, just let babes hang. Take a moment to have a slight lift in the pelvis, a slight dropping down, and lengthening forwards, and just gently rock from side to side. Let babes move forwards and let the natural weight of babes hang forwards. And just allow the hips to sway, slow and steady, swaying gently back and forth. All right, then we're going to flatten the tops of the feet. We're going to tuck the tailbone and we're going to round the back. Get that wonderful broadness through the back of the body. And then we inhale. Curl the toes under and lengthen the heart forwards. As we exhale, we round once again. And we allow the breath and the movement to be in sync. Now, we breathe in and out through the nose. Keep that awareness of expanding your breath in and out through the nose. This is a very important action. I'll touch on it in just a moment. One more breath in. Exhale and rounding. And it should feel really good to have that flexion and extension in the spine. Now we'll come back to center and we're going to transfer the weight to the right knee. And we're going to stretch the left leg out behind you. You're going to curl your toes under and let the heel press back beyond the toes. Let me turn around because I don't think you can see my foot. I think it disappeared. There we go. So you curl the toes under and get that wonderful calf stretch. You're dropping the outer hip and bringing your awareness to the inner groin. So not only are you getting a nice stretch on the calf, which can sometimes have that tenderness if it's been cramping, but it also is helping to stabilize the pelvis. Now, we're going to power up through that left leg and slowly raise the leg up from the inner groin. Because we want to keep the pelvis level and neutral. We don't want to raise the hip with the leg. That's why I have you lifting up from the inner groin. Your shoulders are moving away from the ears. Your breath is steady. And you can stay as you are. Or you can raise the opposite arm alongside the ear, your right arm. Now, you can let the toes rest to the floor and raise the arm, or not bring the arm into the equation at all and just focus on the leg. So if you're in your third trimester, do less. If you're in your first trimester, you'll probably want to do less too. All right, release your right hand down if it hasn't already. Cross your left foot over to your right side. And then come to look over that right shoulder towards the left heel. And you're going to get this wonderful stretch through that left side body. Get your hip lengthen to the heel. And then we ease gently back. Now we're going to do some nice gentle hip circles. Bring the buttocks towards the heels and then over to the side. And then slow. So even if you have been more athletic in the past, if you consider yourself being fit, slowing down and just taking these movements, these postures at a slower tempo is such a wonderful preparation for parenthood, because we can't go at the tempo that we used to before we had kids. We can't put that stress on the next generation, and we probably won't have the energy either. So practicing slowing down is what I'm personally finding is one of my biggest lessons in parenthood, is doing less, slowing my voice down. I didn't grow up with Mr. Rogers, but I see the value of it as he slowed his whole tempo down in how he spoke. It's so hugely beneficial. It's amazing. So as you curl your toes under and you gently press and lengthen the heel back, you just pause in that stretch and just luxuriate in the stretch. Draw the belly in towards the spine, release the shoulders away from the ears. Bring your awareness to that inner groin, and as you power up through the right leg, now lift the right leg from the right inner upper groin, pressing out through the sole of your foot. You can stay as you are if you wish, or you can raise the opposite arm alongside the ear. Thumb points upwards to the ceiling, harnessing your inhale, harnessing your exhale. And then as we release the hand to the earth, we come cross. Right foot over to left side. Plant the toes down. Come to look over that left shoulder. Now your right hip lengthens to your right heel. And again, you breathe into that wonderful stretch. Inhale, back to center. Now we're going to do a resting pose. And in preparation for that resting pose is 1 or 2 blocks. You might not have 2, 1 is fine. And a bolster. Now I have a rectangular bolster, you may have a round bolster. If you do not have a bolster, a great prop is if One of your couch cushions, like the back of the couch cushion, if that comes off, if it's movable, you can substitute with that. You can get 2 bed pillows and just wrap them in a blanket. So they're firmer and they're contained and they're together. And that wrapping of the blanket, just layering on top of each other, should be enough containment, or you can wrap a belt around that. So there are enough ways to improvise. The next is, it's not available to everybody to have the top of the foot flat to the earth. And of course, in pregnancy, when you have extra fluids and blood circulating through, that you might not be as mobile and agile as you have been in the past. So just taking a blanket and rolling it in the defined edge of the blanket, rolling it once or twice, and then placing that under your ankles. Doing it that way is a nice way. So that the tops of your ankles receive the support of the blanket, and that can feel really good. All right, your knees are going to be either side of the bolster. This is a supported child's pose, and it's a really nice posture, especially in your 3rd trimester. I even had this posture on my bed when I had that early labor at home before I went to hospital. So it's a nice posture to take. Hands come either side, buttocks stay on the heels. Lengthen through the spine and drape yourself forwards. Now you might find that you can bring the bolster closer in, or you might need to move it further away depending on size of babes. Slide the hands either under the bolster. You can get a nice cuddle, get to cuddle the bolster a little, or you can just let the arms rest alongside the bolster. We're going to close the eyes and allow for that long, cleansing exhalation of breath. Again, this is one of those moments where you exhale, where you let go, where you undo. You might need to adjust your posturing a little. And then once you've found it, bring in that letting go, bringing in the surrender. Allow for that even inhalation and that even, steady exhalation. surrendering with each exhalation. And if you got so relaxed that you forgot where you were for a moment, that's okay. That's good. That shows you that you can come to a place of deep rest and relaxation. All right. Slowly ease back out. Now, this is your practice. If you wish and you're like, I'm not ready to come out, then just pause the video and stay as long as you need to. There may be some days where you feel more physical and say, no, I can do more asana, more postures. And there'll be some days where you're like, this was my practice. And you stop here and you stay as long as you need to in this restorative posture. All right. So from here, we will come up to standing. Slowly coming to make your way and coming up, taking the hands to heart center. Allow the middle toe to align with the center of the heel. Now this is important because we tend to stand with the feet turned out in varying degrees. And especially in pregnancy when we're carrying extra weight and building life, as we know, there's going to be more stress and strain and more demand in our physical bodies. So our alignment is going to be really important. Try to avoid wearing heels. Try to wear flats as much as possible. Keep that middle toe in line with the center of the heel so that the femur is straight in the leg and the kneecap is pointing in the same direction as the toes. If the toes are turned out, then there's an external rotation that's happening in the inner groins, and there's a clamping down that's happening in the sacrum. And that's going to be causing more tension and stress. And we want to keep the legs parallel. Maintaining the breath. Take your hands to heart center. Thank you. All right. Shift the weight 5% more into the heels than in the balls of the feet. Allow your buttock bones to energetically descend downwards towards the heels. And allow the heart to ascend and rise. Good. Pausing here. Come find your breath. We'll take 3 breaths in. Inhale, no sound. Raising the arms up overhead. You've had enough drinks. That's what it means. And then as you exhale, sweeping the arms gently back down. Let your breath and your movement be in sync. Inhale, raise the arms up. It will feel like a physical yawn as you rise. And as you exhale, you sweep the arms steadily back down. Hands coming back to heart center. Good. Shift your weight into your right foot. Come step your left foot back behind you. So your right knee is forwards, Virabhadrasana 1, and your knee is stacking above your heel. With the back left foot, can you see how my back left foot is more north than it is out to that left side? Because if our foot is out to the side and we try to square the hips, we're putting this knee in danger because we're compromising the knee and there's a torque in the knee. So you want to raise the back heel. Find your left pinky toe and let it make contact with the earth. And then you're slowly going to descend the back heel down to the earth and root down into the back heel. Hips are square to the front of the room, and as we roll the inner upper groin in, we allow the tailbone to descend and we allow the pubis bone to rise again to bring the pelvis into a neutral position. All right, bring your hands to heart center. Now, ladies, in pregnancy, our hamstrings tighten to compensate the growth and the weight on the front of the body. So you may find that in the course of your pregnancy, you won't be able to step as far back as you did if you had a practice prior to pregnancy or in the course of your pregnancy. So honor that that's what's happening. The body's intelligence counteracting the weight at the front of the body. You will regain that length in your hamstrings in time. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Now, if you're in your third trimester, this can feel strenuous and it's not recommended to raise the arms up overhead. So again, it's that cultivating of practice of just because I can doesn't mean I should. About pulling back, doing less. Because by raising the arms, you can feel a strain in the basin of the pelvis. So do less. Feel free to keep the hands at heart center. If you already have little ones running around, you may already be depleted. Don't need to be doing extra. What's more beneficial now is staying grounded, building the strength in the legs, and connecting to your breath and doing less. You're actually doing more by doing less. All right, when you're ready, inhale, come step your back foot to the head of your mat. Make sure your feet are parallel once again. And then we'll shift the weight into the left foot as we step the right foot back behind. Let the front knee stack above the front heel, and you shift the weight back as you root now into the back right heel. Remember, my right foot is more north than it is out to the right side. This accommodates that alignment and squareness in the hips, which protects the knee and stabilizes the sacrum. You may choose to keep your hands at heart center, or you may raise the arms up overhead. Find your breath. Shoulders are releasing away from the ears, the heart is rising, and there's a grounding in your back right heel. The furthest point from the brain. So we can sometimes lose sight of that back foot, but it's so important. So important for our grounding and our steadiness. And as we exhale, we sweep the arms back down. We take our hands to heart center. And we slowly come, step the back foot to the head of the mat. Drop back into your heart, drop back into your Tadasana. 5% more in your heels than in the balls of your feet. Allow the buttock bones to energetically descend downwards to the heels, and the heart gently rises. We come find the breath, cleansing, inhale, and smooth, steady, cleansing exhale. All right. When you're ready, I'm going to come step the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. And then we're going to come turn the right toes in, and we're going to pivot and turn the left toes out. We're going to bend through the front left knee. Now, what's most important is that we lengthen through the inner groin and we draw back through the outer groin. So that knee stays squarely stacked above the heel. So what a nice practice can be is that you take that left hand and you place it on the outside of your left thigh. And you gently press the hand into the thigh and let your thigh press back and meet the pressure of the hand. Can you feel how it fires up those inner groin muscles and activates the leg a little more fully? Good. Stay there. I'll turn sideways again. All right. Now we float the arms parallel to the earth. Release the shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll softly turn the gaze to look over the fingertips of the front left hand. Soft, steady breaths in and out. And you stay rooted and grounded in the back heel. Full cleansing inhales and steady cleansing exhale. Good. Tailbone descends, heart and crown softly rise. Now again, if this feels strenuous, take the arms out of the equation and keep them resting at heart center. But build that strength in the feet and legs, that grounding in your foundation. This is what we need. Now we're going to keep hands at heart center. And we're going to crease in this hip, as if to lengthen left buttock to back right heel. And we're going to root in the back foot and elongate and lengthen through the spine. So your left shoulder is stacked above this left leg. Left knee stays stacked above left heel. And you're gently guiding left ribs forward. You're peeling right ribs back. And you're stacking right shoulder above left. And you're light in the torso. Now, ladies, it's your breath that's going to be your indicator. If you notice the breath is labored, then we pull back and we do less. Because we want to be in effort, but void of strain. And the breath is going to inform you of where you are. One more in breath. One more out breath. And from your foundation, we'll slowly ease back up. We'll take the bend out of the front knee. And then we'll gently begin to crease in that left hip again. Drawing that left buttock to back right heel, rooting into the back foot. And again, elongate and lengthen through the spine. Release the shoulders away from the ears, hands to heart center. And we find our breath here in our modified triangle. Now, even in my regular classes, I often don't do the arms because we get distracted by the arms and we lose the foundation. We lose that connection of the elongation, the length in the spine. So I like to keep hands at heart center to remind us to stay in the midline of the body, to stay in the foundation, to stay in the strength of the power of the legs. As you inhale, you float steadily back to center. And then as we lift the toes of the front foot, we turn them in. And we lift the toes of the back foot as we turn them out. Bending through that front knee once again. Stack the knee above the heel. Allow buttock bones to descend down to the earth. So heel of front foot is in line with heel or arch of back foot. Use that right hand again, especially if you found that a helpful cue, and press that right hand on the outside of your right thigh. Let the hand press into the thigh, let the thigh press back into the hand, and feel that wonderful activation that comes to the inner thigh. All right. Float the arms parallel. Release the shoulders away from the ears, yet expand out from the heart. If you feel comfortable and have the arms extended, do so, but remember you can take hands to heart center if you prefer. You are turning the gaze over to the right side to look out over the hand or just over the shoulder if your arms aren't raised. 2 more cleansing breaths in and out. And then we'll release the hands to heart center. We're going to crease a little deeper into that right hip. So you're drawing the right hip down to deepen the angle. And imagine letting your right buttock lengthen towards the back left heel. You're firmly rooted in the back left heel, and your hands are at heart center. Left shoulder stacked above right, left ribs stacked above right ribs, and the torso is nicely aligned over this front leg. And of course, the front knee is aligned over the front heel. 2 more breaths. Stay grounded in your back foot. Cleansing breaths in. And steady cleansing breaths out. All right, inhale and slowly easing back up. We'll take the bend out of the front knee. And then we'll lengthen the buttocks and we'll draw back down in this right hip crease, but now this front leg is straight. And you're going to get a nice stretch through the inner groin, inner thigh, but we're still rooted in the back foot. We're still light and extended in the spine. And as our hands come to heart center, we remain steady here. Cleansing breaths in and out. One more breath in. Good. From your foundation, let's slowly float steadily back to center. Good. Lift the toes of the front foot, turn them in. Now, we want both big toes now on the same plane. The feet are 3 to 4 feet apart. Hands come into the back pockets. So find those imaginary back pockets. It's lower, it's right on the butt cheeks, right? Don't have the hands at the back of the ribs or the top of the hips, but down in those imaginary pockets. And then you draw the elbows inwards towards each other. You knit the ribs together and you just pause here, inviting in that opening into the chest and heart, that lift up out of the armpit chest. Eyes open or closed. Take a couple of cleansing breaths in and out. So having the hands on the buttocks helps to descend the buttock bones down. One more inhale. One more exhale. Now, even though the legs are apart, they're still squeezing together, compacting that leg energy. As the hands come to heart center, we are going to bow forwards slowly. You can still knit the ribs together, contained through front and back body, and you hinge solely from the hips, and you just let babes hang. But I want you to be grounded in your feet and strong in your legs. So as you root the feet into the earth, imagine your legs are like straws, drawing the earth energy up. So depending on your availability in the hamstrings, you may be here and getting a nice stretch. You may find you can go deeper. Now, even if you could touch the floor, I don't want you to. Because often as soon as the hands touch, then everything tends to collapse. And I don't want collapsing. I want you to stay active and engaged and long and extended in the spine. Powerful in the legs. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then we slowly hinge back up. So come up halfway to wherever you are and then pause. And then inhale and slowly ease up the rest of the way. Good. We're going to heel, toe the feet together. Heel and toe, toe, heel the feet together. Good. So you bring yourself back to the midline from a centered place. And you're not going with your dominant leg stepping in. So we're creating more balance on both the right and left side of the body. Because we've got a dominant side. That's natural. But we're mindfully bringing everything back to center from as much of a conscious, balanced place as we can. All right, let's gently come to make your way down to the mat again. Let's come down to seated. And give yourself enough height so that your spine is straight and that you can sit with ease. It wasn't very graceful, was it? A little cumbersome. All right. So I folded the blanket once more. You may find you want to sit on your block with a blanket on top to give yourself more height. So you will find ways to elevate yourself. You may have a firmer cushion. You may want to sit on your bolster. You know, you may want to place your bolster down with a blanket on top and sit on top of that. That feels wonderful too. So allow yourself to experiment. We can't expect what we've done before to be relevant now. Can you see how, as I elevated my buttocks, it gave my legs more freedom to descend and draw down? Ladies, if you have 2 yoga blocks, these have been mauled by my girls when they were younger, so they're not pretty anymore, but that's fine. But these 2 blocks can be placed under the thighs, and that can feel really supportive. So it's surprising sometimes how, even though our conscious mind says, oh, I don't need props, I'm stronger than that, or I'm more seasoned than that, or whatever our dialogue is, whatever our story is, try it. Because as you try it, just close your eyes. Well, you might not even need to close your eyes. You might feel, oh my God, that's really comforting. I never realized. And listen to that. Because we need to be aware as parents as to what is comforting to us so that we can better self-nurture. So as we sit, find your breath. Nita, could you stop that noise? No. Stop it, please. That was a bit loud. Okay. So we're going to do a gentle twist.
right hand. Come take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. And gently coming to take your left hand behind you on the buttocks. Mida, you need to leave. Your t-shirt's back to front.
Okay.
And then gently revolve. You're gently coming to turn the head to the left. Your left hand is sitting in the middle behind you on the bolster. Gently coming to turn. Now, even as you gently revolve, again, you're only doing 70%. It's not a go 100%. Twists are very gentle in pregnancy, but it's nice just to get that turning in the spine. Take a couple of breaths in this twist. Notice if doing less is what you need, and then as you exhale, release the revolve. Come back to center. Change the interlock of the legs. You're going to be then on your non-automatic side, so it may not feel as comfortable. This is important. You'll notice that once babes is out in the world, or you may already know if you have other kids, you have a dominant side, and you will tend to hold your child more in your stronger arm. Or it might be your less strong arm because you're right, if you're right-handed, you're more mobile and there's more ease in doing other things with the right hand. But be aware, because if you'll start to have injury and strain if you are repeatedly holding your child in the same arm, especially as they grow, especially as they get heavier. So you want to interchange. You want to become ambidextrous. You want to become as agile on both sides. You need to leave, please.
Can we have a treat?
No. Leave the room, please. No.
Peanut butter?
You.
The tiny.
No. You have enough today. So finding that availability on both sides. Now, come take that left hand to the outside of the left thigh, right hand behind you. And then we'll gently revolve and turn to the other side. Thank you. Shoulders are releasing away from the ears as you gently turn. And you come to breathe into twist. Full cleansing breaths in and out. And then we release the coil. Release the twist. So, as I was saying, as we get used to holding a child on one side, even if we're like, oh goodness, I need to switch, the baby gets used to, or the infant gets used to sitting on that side, and they don't like hanging out on the other side. So they will inch over to that more familiar side. So from the get-go, just be mindful. Even if you are breastfeeding, that you consciously alternate the milking, consciously alternate switching sides. Even if it's less on one side than the other, that alternation is still important and good. All right. We're going to come make our way onto our backs. If you are in your first and second trimester, you will use your bolster. You will come take one block and the second block, and you will place your bolster over the top. Now, don't worry, if you just have one block, you can use that one block. You'll just place it like so. You need 2 pillows or 2 blankets, one on either side. You'll need
a firmer blanket, and you can have 1 or 2 softer blankets. Now, one of the softer blankets is your pillow, because your head wants to be higher than the heart. So that will come behind you. That second softer pillow blanket is to put over you if you want. Right? So that 5th blanket would be to place over you. Now, for your legs, that firmer blanket. The Mexican blankets that we see in our studios, we saw in our studios, those are really great, but you might have a substitute at home. So I folded it, and you fold it so it becomes a nice long strip, like so. And you're going to sit in front of your bolster and take the soles of the feet together. You're going to then take this long strip and you're going to place it over the feet. So the center of the blanket is placed on top of the feet. You're slightly going to lift the legs, and you're going to take your blanket from under your thighs, and you're going to fold it double so that it's tucked under your shins. Your feet stay on the floor. Don't lift the feet off the floor. Feet stay on the floor. You just fold this blanket double under your shin. You place your hands behind you, and you elongate through the spine, so you take as much length in the back body, drape yourself back, and then rest your head onto your blanket, and then you can adjust the height of the blanket. And you adjust the positioning of your blanket to the side, or your pillow. You want it lifted so that the elbow rests onto the blanket. Because often, as you can see, my elbow won't quite rest to the floor. So you want a little more elevation for the arms, so that they're more supported. If you have an eye pillow, place it over the eyes. If you have hand pillows, place one in each hand. You want the blanket over you. You want that extra snug sweater on. This is where you do it. You allow your bottom jaw to release from the top jaw. Now, if you feel any tension in the lower back, you're going to slightly lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, and gently release the buttocks back down to the earth, so that you have a nice length in the back body. If you're in your 1st or 2nd trimester, close your eyes, stay here. If you're in your 3rd trimester, thank you for being patient, but it was good that you saw this setup, because you want to do this postpartum. This is a fabulous posture for postpartum. Highly recommended, because it helps with the healing of the pelvis and the uterus, and it stimulates the circulation. So it's a very important posture for you postpartum. All right, 3rd trimester. This is still your pillow. So you'll place your block aside. You'll place your blanket down. Maybe you want 2 blankets, whatever it is that's going to support the head. You've got your bolster, and you're going to place this. You have 2 options. You're going to place it in between. Place it in between the knees, and this helps to bring top knee in line with the hip, and that creates a nice opening and alignment. So you can see the feet are also, the bolster is also in between the feet and the knees. All right, so that's one option. You can take your blanket and cuddle it so this top arm doesn't have so much to go to the floor. It's again
supported on a higher position. All right? You can also straighten the bottom leg. Have that bottom leg be straight, and then you're going to place the bolster right up to your pelvis, right under babes. So quite high up to your baby bump. And then you can slightly draw the pelvis back, bottom pelvis back, top pelvis can rock forwards a little. And it can be a nice shift in positioning. Nice and supported. So those are two nice options. You may already innately do it in bed, or this might gives you some more positions to play with. You can slide the blanket slightly under babes. So again, there's some more support for the belly if you're in your further along in the third trimester. And again, you've got something nice to cuddle into, because you need that mental, emotional support. And as amazing as your partners can be, it's nice and important for us to know how to self-nurture and self-care as well. So now you come to close the eyes. Again, allow the bottom jaw to release from the top jaw. But the emphasis still remains on breathing in and out through the nose. And every exhalation, have the sense that your physical body is releasing deeper into the earth. If you don't fully feel comfortable, then think about what small adjustments to take. Because sometimes it's a very small shift that can make a really profound impact in comfort, in ease. Because this is a restorative. You do want to explore and find those positions where your physical body feels totally supported. It feels luxurious. It feels like you can effortlessly melt into the earth. This is what we want. And in the beginning, you might need to get creative, have some trial and error. And again, every day, every week, your baby is growing and changing. So one posture might feel amazing one week, and the next week, nope, doesn't feel so good. Honor that, move on.
Slowly beginning to deepen your breath. And slowly easing yourself back into the room, back into this moment. And then come rest the hand to the earth. If you're on the side, you can slowly ease yourself up. And we'll close by coming back to our comfortable seated position. So coming back to seated, taking our hands together at heart center. We're going to seal our practice with one round of Om. Steadily breathing in. Swallow in your throat. Before opening the eyes, envision in your mind's eye a golden thread coming up on the outside of that right foot. Let it draw up the outer right leg to your knee, your hip, armpit. Let it loop around the bottom of the arm, coming up the top. This is our energetic force field going around to the left, down that left side, looping around the underarm and really down, and gently going down. So as you envision in your mind's eye that golden thread vibrating out into your auric field, and that golden thread drawing inwards to the midline of your body. Namaste. The divine light within me honors and sees the divine light within you. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.